Remember, we're not going for an Apocalypse Now style opening.
I've done this before.
But we haven't.
Then you should feel honored to get to be on the show.
Oh, this is me being ecstatic over getting to be in Flickers.
You know, not many people get to be in the show, Liam. FYI.
Okay, let's smoke the peace pipe, boys. Film students can get along, too.
Only if it's in the script.
That's right.
Okay, so we'll roll through the convos about the flicks.
Do people still use that term?
I do.
I guess 1,000 YouTube subscribers get it.
2,000.
And more likes than dislikes, we're nearly infamous.
Oh, and it's all downhill from here. Women, drugs, rehab.
And then your comeback, it'll be brilliant.
All right, so we'll let you guys start out.
Excuse me.
Mucho apologies to the lovely lady.
Thank you.
De nada. So we'll roll through the talks about the shows.
And then we'll take a 3-second cut to let our editor, me,
You.
cut in any clips that we can con any of these filmmakers out of legally for the show.
2002. It's Liam. Liam. You know, for the credits.
We'll even give you a special font.
And what do I get?
We'll talk about it.
So, you're about to get your 15 seconds of fame. Let's kick this pig.
Kick what?
He's showing off.
Camera's rolling!
Is the light washing out my face? Because I feel like it's...
No. It'll give your face a glow for the sex appeal.
Sound of speed!
Are you serious?
And when the camera's rolling, I am. So appeal.
In 3, 2, 1.
Salutations, riders of the ethernet waves and lovers of all things celluloid, cinematic, and made with silver nitrate. It's time for Flickers, the film review show geared toward the sycophants of the industry and the neophyte squadrons of dilettantes who already have their acceptance speeches written. I'm Jacob Summers in the pilot seat today, and joining me are my fellow film students.
Abigail Dunning.
And...
Oh, that's me.
Come on, Liam.
Oh, sorry.
And that's a cut.
I wouldn't say Sight and Sound is wrong in switching Vertigo and Citizen Kane is the best movie ever.
Oh, come on. They're both mainstream Hollywood. Why not a foreign movie?
Boo!
Don't pull the subtitle card, Liam. Stay on your native turf.
It's just a better movie. Plain and simple. Hey, recognize it.
I'm still a caveman.
So saith the purist. So Vertigo didn't get its due the day it came out. Time to fix that.
Took it long enough.
Hardy har har. Don't worry. AFI will catch up.
I'm still a caveman, Jacob.
You'll change your mind. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Filmmaking stopped being an art form in the late 1920s.
Oh, here we go. Is there any more pizza left?
Just the bones.
Can you imagine? Edison and the Frenchman playing around with a device that will alter the course of history, and they have no idea what they've got. Edison records a man sneezing, and the Frenchmen play around with trick photography. And then D.W. Griffith makes The Klansman.
The Birth of a Nation.
And overnight,
Show off.
filmmaking became art. And every tracking shot, fade in, zooms, they were all discovered by 1912. And what have we done for it? Blue screened it to death. Give me 1 minute, just one, with Walsh, DeMille, von Stroheim, and you can keep all of your modern day cinema, so-called.
Where's my camera when I need it? That'd have made a great segment for the show.
Here's the thing, Chase. We're in the present, and there's nothing we can do about it. The past is never as good as you make it out to be. We're the next generation of filmmakers. Today is today, and we should just leave it at that.
Time to go. When Liam starts waxing poetical, it's time to hit the road and never come back.
Maybe it's the pizza talking. He's nearer the bullseye than he knows. Chase here is a classic. Wide-eyed, bushy-tailed, silver screen junkie. He doesn't even know how much milk costs at the store.
Surely he can't be that bad.
And anyway, Liam is just quoting Dr. Anderson from his pre-sound cinema class. At least get your own dialogue, man.
The best ripoff.
Say what you want. The silence were art.
And 20 years from now. Make that 100 years from now. everybody will be saying that E.T. was the best movie.
I
no.
shudder at the thought. Abigail, you want to hitch a ride?
What'll it cost me?
I like that kind of talk.
Thanks for letting us on your show, guys.
My show.
Definitely his show. I don't want this brought up when they're interviewing me on Letterman.
Keep dreaming.
I never stop.
Night.
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 I'll help clean up.
And editing, I will go. Was it Lian? I think I might add an artistic E on the end. You think in my mind?
I'm betting yes.
Good.
And here he is, our award-winning web series producer.
I don't think a fest in Winslow, Arizona quite counts.
On my resume does.
Any Wellesian wannabe has to start in the sticks. And in this case, the desert these days. Lights.
Camera.
Liam, phone, now.
Action.
So say it with me, gang, 90%. That's your cue. Hey, I know that you're not actors, but you'll have to work with them someday.
Unless I go into animation, which I am tempted.
I'd highly recommend it.
Why? Animation not legit enough for you?
Not unless you're a mouse, duck, dog, or any other type of talking species.
Focus. 90. 90%. 90% of all silent movies are lost, folks in the balcony seats. Burned up, decayed, wasted away, or forgotten about. They are gone. And some famous ones in the bunch. Theda Barrett's Cleopatra, Eric von Stroheim's Greed, A Daughter of the Gods, The Way of All Flesh.
London After Midnight.
Yes, the famed lost Lon Chaney film where he plays a vampire.
Well, kind of plays a vampire.
Yet another one of his famous films that he made with Todd Browning, yet critics say this is the weakest one of the bunch.
You know, it was his only film that included his famous makeup kit. He put wires around his eyes to get the monocle effect.
It could be the most famous lost silent film on the planet.
Above Greed.
Lights. Affirmative. Now, let's discuss the full importance of the jazz singer. Your short, silent movies will be on the agenda next time.
Oh wow, and with mine already in the can.
I want scenarios emailed to me no later than 5 tomorrows, comprende? Si means yes.
See.
You know, rumor has it, by the by, that the Chaney film had a showing here on campus 40 years ago. Who's to know, right?
That would be a nice coup d'etat.
What would?
Well, maybe if you get your face out of your phone, Liam, you'd figure it out.
They're talking about the Chaney film and how it'd be great if they could find it.
And a nice addition to the tenure file.
Surely you don't think it's still here on campus.
One never knows, does one?
Anyone for a pitcher of pie?
No, Liam, we're not. You know, filmmaking doesn't live inside your phone. The man was talking about something important, something big.
So we faded out, so what? I do it, you do it.
I hate to pull the I've got an award-winning web series card or anything, but I do. And if you want to join in, then jerk your head out of the amorphous state it's in and make a contribution.
We'll never let it be said that a wannabe filmmaker didn't have an ego.
Let it ride. Wannabe or not, it's hard for any of us to live in the right now. Sometimes the land of the silver nitrate is preferable to all of this.
More waxing poetical.
Yet again, yeah.
Not a vowel or consonant, Liam.
No way. Absolutely no way.
Okay, great. Just put the camera. Perfect. Good job.
Hey! Liam!
We're getting ready to shoot, Liam.
Yeah, hence the camera, I get it.
Don't tell me you're still sore.
Yeah, my mouth just popped off the other day without me in the
I
driver's
believe
seat.
it's called research, but I'm just some dumb hick from the sticks.
I'm nothing short of impressed.
A local film society played Chaney's movie in '74
Well, either that or I photoshopped it, there's always that. I take it you're staying?
to finish the shoot.
Of course. Be sure to have your acceptance speech written.
Would you stop being so... Liam!
Well, I am impressed.
Thought my doors had locks on them.
You forgot about your window.
Wunderbar.
Let me guess. Logging more footage?
All right, you can guess.
Exactly how much are you filming for your final project for Anderson?
Enough to make my own greed. I'm an overachiever.
Yeah, well, an 8-hour movie is overrated. Just ask Thalberg who had to cut that monstrosity.
Heretic. Cute.
The winsome Leon did some digging.
Thought Abigail was the winsome one.
Keep your lens focused, Chase. A showing of Chaney's movie, here in our city, on our campus. How's that for an inciting incident?
Isn't this the Kawinky Dink?
I don't like it any more than you do.
Sure you do.
I don't.
So you bring that as what? An enticement? A talisman? A letter of transit?
Yeah, you live too much inside your movie screen.
Me? Pot and kettle, Brutus.
Mixed metaphors won't help you.
So what? You and Liam think that the Film Society, which I didn't know we had, by the way.
I know, right?
You think it's just sitting there, on a shelf, the Holy Grail, under the caretaker's nose. You're kooky, you know that?
Even just a reel, even a fragment. Can you imagine?
Yeah. You could probably squeeze an episode, maybe 2 out of it. Huzzah! You're crazy.
Film school is not preparing me to be a gaffer or third assistant director and get coffee for the guy who has the megaphone.
I know where your bow and arrow is aimed.
The most sought after lost film in history. That is what we're talking about here.
In Austria, it was called Der Vampir. In England, The Hypnotist. In Italy, In Fantasma del Castello. In Spain, La Casa del Horror.
Your point.
It wasn't just a domestic release. And where have all the recent fines been? Not stateside.
Look at you, of all people, should know why we do this in the first place. With every chasing tail franchise, with every explosion a minute, with every comedy flick pandering to the lowest common denominator, there is still idealism out there.
Oh, please, let's not get carried away.
There is!
What, with us?
Okay, so maybe it wasn't the best thing Chaney and Browning ever did.
Supposedly no.
But in the end, 2 minutes of this is worth all the fast and idiotics you can shake a stick at.
You ever considered that maybe there's a good reason for it being lost?
Thought never crossed my mind.
Looking for a work-study job to be our curator?
Didn't think anyone was around.
I let class out early as everyone had film assignments that needed to be shot.
Your lecture the other day.
You listened? Oh, be still, my beating heart. Ask away, dear boy of mine.
London after midnight?
Go away, Chase. You bother me.
Surely the film school's got something on it. Old clipping from a film mag, or record of part of it being used in a lecture.
When would we have gotten it? The film study school didn't start here until 1983. Or is there something you're not telling me?
I want to prove something.
To your boy Jacob. Am I right? Oh, don't even answer. You too.
Not even a scrap?
Film school started early in Russia, by the by, if you're ever asked on a test. The one in USC in 29. We're a pup in comparison.
I'll file it away for later.
The MGM fire in '67 started with an electrical spark. They had canisters going back 50 years. Tex Avery, cartoons, short by Laurel and Hardy, some stuff by the Three Stooges. Literally hundreds of silents were torched.
All that gone?
Fire burned all night, and it burned hot. The only known print of the Cheney film was lying in ashes the next morning.
Can I keep this?
I know that we need some dinner-loving care around here, but let's stick to protocol. Check it out with the secretary, and that means every item. Of all the missing films that collectors foam at the mouth for, and they look for this one. Why not Barris Cleopatra, or The Way of All Flesh? No. Everyone looks for this halfway decent melodrama. Fascinating though, isn't it? How one legendary lost silent film can create suckers out of all of us?
Meaning?
You're already halfway there. Find out for yourself.
You'll want a macro lens,
Yeah, and the camera with it is already checked out. I'm making do.
aren't we all? What are you filming anyway?
It's just a camcorder. Why am I even bothering?
Well, you're in shadow for one thing.
That helps some. It's just, I'm not gonna get what I want.
I'd be willing to bet you do.
Not with this thing, I'm not.
Listen, I'm just the cameraman. I don't call the shots.
I don't think that's very funny.
Neither does your boy Liam.
Neither does your boy what?
That was a great entrance and my cue to exit.
Oh, don't worry about it. You're not ghoulish enough for her.
You shoot it. I've got other things to do.
Like eating?
If it helps, Jacob has the attention span of a flea with fleas.
Well, he's in there with the champ now. It'd make a good movie.
I wouldn't even think about it.
Oh, I already have it all cast. All you need is that great opening shot.
I'd say have fun with your domestic bliss, but I'll refrain.
How well do you know your Bible, Chase?
Just the normal Sunday school curriculum. David, Noah, Daniel in the lion's den.
Jacob means deceiver.
That is a great opening for a movie. You better get to shooting before you lose your light.
I cry foul. Not possible.
Liam, thank you so very much, buddy. I'm gonna take an ice age for the books to get back on the shelf.
Take your library card and go somewhere else if you want to go postal in the stacks.
Massive apologies. Hang on a second.
In some countries, you just committed assault.
Would they chop off my hand?
I should say so. And worse, hopefully.
Sorry, I was looking for a book and got a little frustrated.
So you decided to go ollie in the university library. I bet you get road rage, too.
No, you're just slinging to sling.
I work here. I'm the poor gal on work study who has to clean up after you so-called scholars. Want to hear about my troubles?
Sure.
I only tell people my troubles over coffee, which I don't purchase.
Well, Madam Librarian.
Oh, a Music Man reference. I've never heard that before. Do you want me to sing the song?
Actually, I was looking for some books. Someone I know was here the other day, and
And he found what he needed and didn't check them out, so they're floating in the flotsam and jetsam of the literary sea.
I like your vocab. Are you a nameless siren in these waters, or do they call you Persephone?
I only give out my name when I've ingested the calf part of my coffee.
I got nothing.
Come on, Captain Ahab, let's go fish for your missing books.
And then off to the Java Hut, and your non-de-plume.
Anything's possible in these waters. Why is this so important again?
What's your name again?
All right. Had my cup of coffee, and a deal, as they so enigmatically say, is a deal.
English major?
No, that's not my name. Kara Johnson. And it's social work.
My next guess, I promise. And it's not.
It's not what?
It's not important. I've got this soft spot for old films, and there's a chance this one was shown on campus about 40 years ago.
London After Midnight? Alright, so I'm not an English major, but I am a reader. A rabid one. What'd I say?
Filmmaking 101. There's no coincidences. Just don't do it.
It's a famous literary device. It's used in mysteries all the time.
Look, Kara, it was lovely to meet you, but this filmmaker has some editing to do.
They say it never left campus.
Who's they?
Herman Melville wrote a story called The Isle of the Cross. He turned it into the publishers, and they turned it down. He based it on a real event, so I think that probably scared them away.
There's a correlation coming, isn't there?
Homer wrote a poem called Margites.
Gone?
Gone.
Look, I'm talking about a silent movie, not some lost literary treasure.
I said that I was a rabid reader, but some things that are lost, Chase, are meant to be found. Maybe even this film of yours.
I'm not trying to find anything. I'm just satisfying curiosity.
All right. Thanks for the caffeine, Mr. Filmmaker.
And just like that, you're walking away?
When you're not satisfying curiosity, drop another book on my head, and maybe I'll tell you a campfire tale.
Why didn't I bring my camera?
Why? So we could have documented proof we're the village idiots? That would be great for an episode of Flickers.
This is the Film Society? It's a house.
Yeah, I think it's been defunct for a while now.
Another casualty thanks to Netflix.
Let the humiliation commence.
Oh, I'm sorry, did I forget to put up the flag on the mailbox again?
Do we look like postal workers?
Casual Fridays?
It's not Friday.
We're, interested in the film society that's here
I'm
in
no
town?
mind reader, but let me guess, you're from the film school.
Your senses don't lie.
Well, you'll only be disappointed. They always are.
We're not the first?
Try the 1001st. Come on in. Wipe your feet. Make yourself at home. That's what I do.
Oh, why's that?
Because it's mine. Entrez-vous the sanctum sanctorum.
Oh. You must love it here.
It's a sty. I inherited this lovely pile from my uncle. Todd Charles. The man with two first names.
So, how long has the society been around?
Well, it's not around anymore. My uncle was the film fanatic. He left this place to me, and he left my cousin $8,000. I lament that fact every day.
How long?
Was it around? I don't know. I think he started it in like the early 60s at the local movie theater. They let him rent out the theater every Saturday night. He himself had come into some loot, and he started buying these obscure prints of films from ages past, and then it caught on, and he ran the place up until a few years ago, and I'm just trying to sort through everything he collected.
1974?
Chase.
What about it?
We found a flyer. Well, a friend found a flyer.
Friend.
Save the Oxygen. The vampire movie with Chaney, right?
Technically, he wasn't a vampire. He pretended to be a vampire to catch a murderer.
Film geek! I spotted you the second you walked in the door. And you?
I'm his caretaker. He gets lost a lot.
Well, by 74, dear old Unc had moved the society to the university under the old auditorium.
Merrimack Hall.
Right, that's the one. He rented out some space down there under the theater, under the sort of the bowels of the building.
Did he keep receipts from the films he rented?
Even better, he kept a ledger. Receipts, postal costs when he sent them back. Yeah. Let's see. 1974. Grand year for dear old Uncle. Showed a slew of Abbott and Costellos, a few Danny Kays. He had a horror fest near Halloween.
The Chaney movie?
Yeah, and I know that it's some sort of lost silent picture before you drool all over the ground. I know all about it. And I don't know where it is.
The receipts?
He got a print somewhere. Knowing Uncle, he probably didn't even know about the MGM Vault Fire. He didn't care about the lore behind it. He just loved the movies themselves.
I wonder where he found a print.
Well, Pub wasn't a real print, Chase. The last known copy was burned up in the MGM fire.
Yeah, probably an old 16mm lying around.
He didn't specify. You notice anything else there?
The ship out column is blank.
You win the prize, film boy.
So we left it blank.
He never left it blank.
He didn't send it back.
And before you tear apart my Casa de Charles, it isn't here.
Well, if it's not here, then...
Then it may have never left campus.
Très probablement.
How's the trip to Merrimack sound?
Maybe you'll have some better luck.
You looked for it there?
Me? No. No, I'm just sorting through all this mess to see if I can get some coin of the realm out of it, you know. A supposed lost silent film is just a waste of time.
Then what about the better luck?
Recently, someone came to visit my uncle. He asked the same questions that you two are, and still no lost film found.
Who was it?
Nary a clue. But he seemed just as determined as you two are.
amused.
Clever. You didn't say hello when you came into the library.
Believe it or not, I'm not in the mood for enigmatic and weird today.
So you're here for a term paper. Go ahead and pull the other one, Orson Welles.
If only. Who said the Dewey Decibel System was a barrel of laughs anyway? What's it gonna cost me?
Are you kidding? This is the special collection stacks, champ. I'm thinking bacon cheeseburger. Come on.
Does everything you do for people cost them coffee or a meal?
How do you think I get dates? And that's a picture of the original Yemen Hall. It burned to the ground and they built the second one in the same spot.
But we don't have a human hall.
They dubbed the second one Merrimack. Guess why?
After the ironclad ship, right?
You stayed awake during your history class. You win a prize.
But ours is spelled with a K at the end, not a C.
The original spelling. Thus endeth the lesson.
We need to find blueprints for it. We went over there and asked around, and there's not a sub-basement like we were told.
Considering you just brought me up to speed on this quest of yours, I would say you were being duped for K's and G's.
K's and G's?
Kicks and giggles.
The guy who ran the Film Society had space in Merrimack.
And he started using it 40 years ago? Maybe I should change my major to film studies. Think of all the extra time I would have.
Kara, I'm out of here.
What about my cheeseburger?
Send me a bill.
Wait. Hold up. Come on.
Wait for what? No more pithy repartee and I'm gonna barf.
Just come on.
Another picture book?
Did anyone ever tell you that you're cranktastic?
I feel like I'm being led around by the nose here.
I told you that, but I'm not the one doing it, sport. Wake up and pay attention. The movie isn't here.
What if it is?
What if? Really?
Isn't that how every good story starts? What if a massive hungry shark terrorizes a beach?
I know the movie.
What if a young moisture farmer on the edge of the galaxy joins the rebellion?
I have the DVD of that one. And what if an eccentric deductive reasoner sets out his shingle as a consulting detective?
I don't get that.
Sorry, too literary. I get it. What if blueprints for the older buildings on campus were never digitized? Don't ask, I don't know. So what we have here is the original architectural drawings. Not even remotely cool, the pages are torn out.
Do I have to be a famous consulting detective to figure that one out?
Your what if is getting a little spooky. I see you went without the bacon.
Yeah, not a big fan of the strips of pork.
And to think I was attracted to you.
Past tense? We really need to go back to Merrimack Hall, and preferably when no one's around.
Ooh, during the witching hour? I love it. Count me in.
Sorry, you fall under the category of research.
Why don't you just carefully slip the dagger out of my ribs?
Kara, you've been a big help. You're a little bit flaky, but I can deal with that. And you have really nice eyes. But this is a film thing, and there's already enough of us trying to hunt this down, and if we were to be caught sneaking into buildings late at night...
You think I have nice eyes?
Did I say so?
What if a guy and girl...
I've seen that movie before.
Yeah, me too. It sells tickets every time.
Who is she?
She is Kara Johnson, and you must be grumpy as in one of the dwarves.
We get caught.
If. I didn't even see the janitor.
Upstairs floors, I checked.
So? Let's get it going.
A maintenance store would probably do it. A sub-basement would be accessible.
Who is she again?
Just count your blessings, Jacob. She knows more about the university than anyone I've ever met.
Oh yeah, how's that?
I've read a book or two. You should crack one open and there are pages with words written on them.
Listen, they like to crack right now.
Can we just spare the pithy and sarcastic for a little bit, please?
Abigail, I don't think that's a very good idea.
Just Think of it as a documentary.
Or one of those ridiculous Ghost Finder shows.
I will say this, anybody makes a Ghostbusters reference, you're out of here.
A maintenance store, if you please.
The best kind of door.
And there's machinery coming on the inside.
You've gotta be joking.
Well, my lock-picking skills are nil. Anyone?
9.
Oh, you're seriously joking.
I thought you were a bookworm.
A former life, but only on a need-to-know basis.
Picking devices are illegal last I checked.
A gift from a family member.
And who might that be?
My dad.
Huzzah! Now what?
Over there, another door.
Abigail.
Oh, right.
So, all the good stories in the literary world begin with Once Upon a Time.
You're talking to filmmakers, Sugar. It's called Fade In.
So, once upon a time, the university administration thought they would bring a circus to campus. This was probably 60 or 70 years ago, and they did, and it was a big hit according to the school paper, but their elephant, being a bit long in the tusk, died right in front of the president's house, and they hired a digger and buried her right under his front lawn.
And?
The end. That's how good stories end.
The people you meet.
Don't blame me, the library hired her.
Was there even a point to that story?
Didn't have to have a point, it was a story.
I wholeheartedly approve.
Of what?
Do we even know what we're looking for? I mean, like, specifically.
My question is, why were the pages ripped out of the blueprint book? I mean, this floor, it's not even hidden, it's just not in use.
In my movie, that means someone is trying very hard to discourage anyone from doing exactly what we're doing.
Here's a storage room.
How would you know?
It's set under the stairs. It has to be storage.
How do you even know this is the right place?
Well, I'd say that's a pretty good clue, don't you?
It's just piles of junk. I don't see film canisters anywhere.
What are you looking for?
Anything that looks remotely like a canister of film, Jughead. It's unlabeled.
Open it.
You can't open a canister if it's got silver nitrate film in it, idiot. It could burst into flames, we'd never be able to put it out.
This doesn't even look remotely big enough for that. Come on. And it's empty.
What are we doing here?
Hold on. What's that?
Oh, that's cute.
That looks just like the hat that...
The Cheney wore in the movie.
That's freaky. Tell me that's not freaky.
The Film Society guy. What was his name? Todd? No, that was the nephew.
We didn't get his name.
He probably wore it when he showed the film.
Yeah, if he did show it, I'm beginning to think somebody's yanking our chain.
Why's that?
The very film that we're looking for, we just happen to find the exact same
It's ridiculous.
hat. Dare I ask the cliche, what's that?
Down here in the sub-basement?
One guess.
Campus cops.
Don't do that. If we get arrested, it'll make great footage.
We need to get out of here.
So that's it?
No, that's not it. We'll have to pay another visit to the Film Society.
But now, we run.
much this little jaunt was going to cost you?
I'm guessing more than a cheeseburger?
It was a bacon cheeseburger, and yes.
Come on.
Second visit, I see. I was counting the hours. Look, you guys tapped everything that I know about the lost film, gents, alright? And that's just what it is. Lost. I wish I could throw you another bone. Thank you, I guess.
How many times have you played that prank before?
This is my, I don't know what you're talking about face.
We found that in your uncle's old storage closet.
You found it, really? Are you sure? It's pretty well preserved, you know.
Well, it would be down there. Throw another bone.
Yeah, what was his name again?
Whose?
Now you're just being coy.
I thought I was Todd. Yeah, that didn't work the last time I used it either. Look, guys, this is, how do you film boys put it? Where the plot thickens.
Oh, joy.
The name.
Anthony Parsons.
We're out of here.
I know, I'm sorry. I should have told you that the last time you visited.
I had no idea that he was the Film Society guy.
Well, he ran it into the ground a long time ago.
A lot longer than you let on. His case is still open.
Technically, no. I had him declared dead. No corpus delicti, no crime. As far as the police are concerned, he could be in Tahiti sipping Mai Tais with a bunch of girls in grass skirts.
That's university folklore. Every freshman is told that story to scare them half to death.
And a great story, too.
Is that all this is to you guys? Just a story? Tony worked very hard for that school.
Oh, yeah. How was it as a janitor?
Curator, thank you very much.
Of what?
The film archives.
What film archives?
Shipped out not long after he disappeared.
Or after he was killed.
How did you know about that anyway?
Dr. Anderson was talking about it when I came to scope out the school.
Okay, so what does that mean?
It means you boys are chasing ghosts.
So, Orson Welles cuts a hole in the floor to get the angle that he wants in Citizen Kane, and in another shot he uses forced perspective. He taught us how to watch movies.
Is it a crime if I've never seen it?
What?
Joshing, promise, don't hang me from the nearest tree.
We know all of this, Dr. Anderson. In Sight and Sound, just put Vertigo in the numero uno slot. Talk about that.
Vertigo, sure to go.
Vertigo.
Vertigo. Vertigo. Vertigo. Vertigo.
The infamous dolly zoom, is that what you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Dolly zoom is a camera effect that is used to undermine visual perception. He capitalized on it when he shot the movie.
Was that film ever here?
Vertigo? I've got one on DVD if you want to borrow it, Chase.
No, I mean like a print copy in our archives. We had one, right?
Once upon a long ago, yeah, we did. I mean, the archives, I mean. I hadn't been here very long, but I don't know if we had a print of Vertigo.
Did the department ever work with the Film Society or Tony Parsons? I mean, he was supposed to be the curator of the archives, right?
Who?
But isn't he our version of the boogeyman here on campus?
We might have. Seems like he showed a lot of movies here on campus that brought out a lot of students and some community folks. Again, that was before my time.
But surely he didn't up and disappear.
Legend says he was killed with a meat hook.
It doesn't.
Make a better story if it did.
But theoretically, some of the department's prints could have gotten mixed up with the Film Societies?
The archives was shipped out a while ago, Chase. I had just been hired. I was still junior faculty. I wasn't in the loop in that type of stuff. I never knew the man.
Okay, just curious.
It'd be right out of the fridge if the files are still here.
Make a great movie.
I didn't order any takeout. Thanks, though.
I want Chinese!
I don't allow strange men to cross my threshold unless they're vampires. Are you one?
Sure.
Okay, I'll take it.
Fine. I'm a vampire. It took me 2 hours going through the department's files to find this.
It's an inventory.
Of all the films that the archives had before they shipped it out a few years back.
Alan Quatermain, you're not.
Seriously?
Raffles?
Your lack of postmodern film references disturbs me.
And your lack of literary ones isn't at all attractive. But your taste in food warms my heart, thus you are forgiven.
I was thinking more Indiana Jones.
You'd look silly with a whip. What exactly am I gazing upon here?
Okay. It's a list of all the films the department bought or rented, and the dates of when it was returned or bought by someone else.
I'm waiting for that eureka moment.
Okay, so in the golden era of film, titles were often released overseas with an alternate name.
You mean in the country's language?
No. Well, yes, of course, but it translated out. I'm talking about an alternate title.
They do that all the time with books. A book from the UK, when it's published here, sometimes gets another name. For example, Harry Potter...
Okay. It's my turn to be the know-it-all. Sit back and enjoy the ride. I'm talking about a film with another title. Another English title.
I have no idea what I'm looking for here. Can you throw me a lifeline? Cheating. I cry foul. The Hypnotist? Let me shoot a theory. Australia?
England. It was London after midnight in England.
Chase, do you know what that means? You have proof that the film was actually here on campus.
Only on paper.
But why catalog it under a different title?
Could have been what the canister said. It could have been a print from overseas.
Or
someone could have intentionally entered it that way to throw people off.
I'm gonna throw another plot device in here. You know what that is, right?
Anthony Parsons' disappearance.
I'll give you the Cliff Notes without the cost. He was seen earlier that day and at lunchtime, but he never showed up for an appointment he had with an English class to be a guest lecturer that day. No sign of him that night. His nephew reports him missing.
The enigmatic Todd Charles.
There's a spot of blood found on the corner of the desk in Curtis Hall that he used. It's verified as his, but there's not enough to suggest anything more than a pricked finger.
I don't like it.
There's nothing missing. No note, no final message etched into the carpet.
What about his car?
I was getting to that. His car was seen leaving campus a little bit after 11 that night. He never stayed that late. His nephew said that he couldn't see very well at night, and then his car shows up at a chop shop on the outskirts of town 3 days later.
Credits roll?
Credits roll.
Hold on a second. See anything remotely similar?
The shipping date of the archives and the day he went missing.
The exact same day.
You do know that this is ridiculous.
This whole thing is Jacob.
Curtis Hall was built in 1913. It's the second oldest building on campus. Its basement is probably flooded or blocked off.
Yeah, there's good reasons for that.
Thank you.
Leah. Tony Parsons had storage for the Film Society and the Film Archives in Curtis and Merrimack.
But he wasn't faculty.
No, but he could get films for the Film Studies department.
And those were the days when they had a bigger budget.
Well, his office was given to a professor after his disappearance. Why are we here?
According to the shipping inventory manifest, your missing flick never left campus.
So it's just been missing for 40 years?
That's what this whole thing has been about. Where have you been?
Right here with you, babe. Where have you been?
If anyone jumps out of the dark, I swear I'll die.
Me too, sister.
So, the idiotic question here is, what is this place?
Back when the campus had ROTC, it was used as a shooting range.
We used to have a shooting range on campus?
How long since ROTC has been here?
A long time. It was used for campus storage and then locked up for safety reasons.
And this was when?
About the time Tony Parsons went to another dimension.
In my movie, there's no such thing as coincidences.
So, remind me again what we're doing down here. Looking for the movie?
I'm betting not.
So then...
I mean, I think they thoroughly searched the place.
Okay, hold on a sec here. So we're not down here looking for the movie?
Tony Parsons disappeared the same time that the archives shipped out. Okay, fine.
Abigail, bring the camera. We're gonna go look over here. Let's not dilly-dally.
So our campus just takes old buildings and doesn't use them anymore?
This building is like a century old. To bring it up to code down here would cost the university too much dinero.
Over here.
Packing slip. Here's a list of some of the canisters that shipped out that day.
I won't tease you if you say you're scared.
I'm scared. You didn't tease me.
What are you doing?
Satisfying my curiosity. I'm ready for this to be over with.
You don't have to worry about it.
Who's worrying? I'm not a dummy. I'm taken for one. I'm not. Weird place for a little room.
Storage.
I'm no filmmaker, but isn't this where the dramatic music builds?
Yep, right about here.
Well, we found nothing.
Don't do that!
At least knock.
Wait. This is just like that media stunt where they opened the hidden closet and found it empty.
Yep, just like that.
Well, this is completely idiotic. Let's get out of here.
Guys, I think
Jacob?
I think it's...
Tell me that's a body.
That's a body.
This can't be happening. It's fine. I'm getting every second of this.
Guys, what have we stumbled onto here? I mean, really?
Oh, someone followed us down here.
Okay, I've had enough of this.
Jacob, wait!
No!
Me!
It's 911 time, folks. Set down here.
Come on.
We gotta get someone here fast!
Jacob can take care of himself.
Not if that's someone who followed us, Jake Parsons.
That's a pretty big leap, don't you think?
It's the consulting detective part of me talking out loud.
Chase, don't! False alarms! No!
Time to split!
Not like
Who's there?
distress signal should get the police here pretty quickly, along with the fire department.
Someone's out there.
Jacob!
Jacob!
Now, why did staying home and reading a book sound so unappealing?
Will you shut up? This isn't one of your stupid stories.
And it isn't one of your movies either, Chase.
We need an ambulance.
If you tell me this was a fraternity prank, I will lose what calm and control I have left.
It wasn't a frat prank.
So you were running around in the basement of a locked building on campus in the middle of the night and it wasn't a prank?
Officer.
Detective.
Detective.
Lindsay.
Detective Lindsay. We've been through this with you half the night. Our friend has been hurt and we want to go see him.
He's fine.
Detective.
He's getting his arm set. He got hit by a baseball bat and no, he didn't see who did it.
Sir, we've told you all we know.
Yes, which was that you were looking for a dead body, which has something to do with a movie, which I could not care less about. And to make matters worse, you're now charged with breaking and entering, which will be on your record and haunt you for the rest of your life. And you triggered a false fire alarm, and you almost got your friend killed.
We had nothing to do with that.
So you say.
What?
Detective, we told you what happened. I assume by the fact that you brought us all back together that our stories matched. So can we please go now?
Well, if it is a lie, you obviously got your story straight, because it's unbelievable.
Is the body that we found Anthony Parsons?
And who are you?
Karen, the bookworm. Detective, David. Your first name's at the top of the report. This started out as merely satisfying curiosity.
Are you?
Are we what?
Satisfied. Because as far as the law is concerned, your part in this is done. As in, finished.
Roll credits. We get it. And before you can say it loud and clear.
If I need to ask you any more questions, you will all be available.
Yes, sir.
Now get your stuff and get out of here.
Okay, I want to see rough cuts of your movie before next Wednesday. No, don't worry, I don't want to have soundtracks in it. No, don't worry. You don't have to have credits, it's a rough cut. Okay, that's it. We're out of here.
Professor, please. This is the last thing we need right now.
Carter, we were just.
Let me say this in such a way where I don't lose my cool. You went to a restricted area, you broke the law, and you could have gotten Jacob hurt worse than he already is. There will be consequences from the department, and most likely, the university. That's all I have to say.
Can I say something then?
Don't bother. You get your chance in front of the faculty tomorrow, 2 o'clock. They'll decide if you'll be a part of this program. We're not too keen on having criminals be in our department.
Since when?
Before we all go down with the Titanic, I'm gonna edit what we have so far.
Are you kidding me, Abigail?
I'll have it posted on YouTube by tonight, and no university can tell me I can't.
Why don't we go somewhere else?
Liam, I don't want to talk about this. Not now.
My parents are coming down here, Abby. They're talking about pulling me out of the school.
That's a great shot. Let's get that and we'll add it to what we've already have shot for the end of this.
Can't be worth all this. 15 seconds of pain for friends getting hurt, dead bodies.
This is what we do, Chase. This is what we find our worth in doing. Okay, it's terrible. Who was up with Jacob all night in the hospital? You or me? He wants me to do this. And it's gonna go up on the web series too.
If only we could sell tickets to the web series. Right, Abigail? That would make it okay. Kara, you're not answering your phone. Sorry, I don't have any food this time. It's just me. Kara!
I, Robot by Asimov. Truly a classic.
I love sci-fi. It's one of my favorite genres. Your phone must need charging.
Nope, I'm not answering it. Well, certain calls.
Look, the other night...
Before this drags on and gets completely ridiculous, let me just cut to the chase here. Sorry, I really didn't intend that pun. It was nice. I got plenty of kicks and giggles out of it. Well, except for Jacob and the whole dead man thing. But you were wonderful to meet, to talk to. But here's the thing, I live in books and you live in movies, and that's really what all of this boils down to. The Chaney film is just another chapter in your life's movie. That's how you see it, and people and me. We're not really flesh and blood, we're actors for you to block in our places and yell action. We both live in Neverland, Peter Pan, but I'm not going to be Tinkerbell, and not the Disney Tinkerbell either, but the one from the books. You don't see us as anything more than a frame to be shot, Chase. And I'm not, okay? Okay.
Mr. Charles? Todd? Mr. Charles? Todd? Oh no.
Ah! You could knock!
I did knock, you didn't answer.
I was napping!
You look dead.
I was sleeping!
Well, I...
Apology accepted.
I didn't...
What do you want this time?
I wanted to know if, well, how the police...
Yeah, a detective came by this morning. They used dental records. I thought they were going to end up using one of those mouth swab DNA things, but...
I'm sorry about him.
The detective said you weren't supposed to be there.
We weren't.
What were you doing there?
We were looking.
For the Chaney movie?
No, not this time. We were looking for your uncle.
Why there? I thought that place was just storage for old film studies movies.
It was, but he disappeared the day that they shipped the archives out.
And the film wasn't found?
No.
The detective did say it was murder, by the by. Said they found a .38 slug under his heart. Must have just bled to death down there. And it's been so long now, they'll probably never figure out who did it.
Maybe not.
Can I ask you a question?
Shoot. I mean, go ahead.
Is it really all worth it? Looking for this lost film that may not even be on campus? It may not even exist.
That's the question, isn't it?
And the movie was never found?
No.
And he was killed. How do you explain that?
I don't even think I'm qualified.
A lost film, murder. Sounds like a good Saturday matinee.
Doesn't it just? Look, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go and find out if I'm still a student at the university.
Oh, one thing about my Uncle Tony. Even under duress, he would never buckle. If you catch my drift.
Caught it. Write the screenplay. Maybe I'll film it someday.
You got it.
I've been looking for you.
You found me.
What's the word on Jacob?
He's not answering his phone. It's a curse.
She did it.
She who? Oh, Abigail. Is it any good?
You'll have to see it for yourself.
Thought your parents were jerking you out of here.
I'm on reprieve. They're gonna be in town for a couple days to keep an eye on me. I gotta go. I'm under curfew watch. You need to see it.
And what do our little adventures say about the nature of storytelling? What does it say about the filmmaker? That in essence, the story is always the thing. Didn't Hamlet say the play's the thing? Now it's the film. That's the thing. We point, we shoot, we capture, and we give it to you. That is our lot in life.
Hey, I just wanted to tell you I'm picking up a book and reading it tonight. Like an actual book. I just thought, oh look, it's page 1. Gotta go.
Did I say it's hard for me to get a second date? What's she reading? The Hardy Boys. Yeah. Frank and Joe got me through my prepubescent years.
It's the best I could find. Something that's not about a movie.
Which I've been watching in your honor. You hungry?
What time is it?
Midnight. The best time to eat Thai food. Don't ask me why, I just made that up. And if you eat it with a fork, I'm out of here. Stop right there.
You should stick to reading books.
And our Mr. Tony Parsons was a clever man with something to hide. That's a pretty uniform room, right? The texture, the paint, etc., boring, etc.
Yeah, I'll say yes.
Uh-huh, said the wise man to the student.
That's patchwork. Right on the wall above where we found the carpet roll. I wonder why it's there and what it's trying...
A momentary lapse is what we're gonna call it, okay? I can never seem to get out in sunlight when the library or my room is so much safer.
I know. You don't have to tell me. I know. I live there too.
I'd like to get out in the sunlight some more. How about you?
More than anything.
My parents will physically remove me from this campus.
So don't come.
Are you kidding me? Even if it's a dud, it's better than being berated all day.
And no camera to document any of it.
Just as it should be.
Exactly.
Absolutely no way.
And to think I was about to feel so stupid.
Don't! Not yet. We don't know what's in there. It could be a 40-year-old film or something else.
Something else?
And if it is the film, exposing it to the air could cause it to smoke or ignite.
So, the obvious question here, what now?
We get out of here. That'd be a good first step.
Let's get out of here. I would applaud, but I'm kind of one-handed right now.
Way to go, guys. What do you have to say?
How did you...
Come on, Chase. You had to know I knew what you were planning. Bus farm or not, I knew what was going on. I knew you wouldn't stop.
Abigail, would you turn that camera off?
No. Good quest movies always wait for the end to roll out the big chunk of exposition and explain everything. It all wraps up nicely.
This isn't a movie.
As if I needed reminding. Fair's fair, Chase.
Why do I suddenly feel threatened?
You know, there's slow, and then there's you.
You saying this is a setup?
Not in the way you think. Just a good time for our friend Chase here to get his head out of the celluloid.
You're one to talk.
Oh, plant an ID in my buddy Chase's head now. Bite it like a bulldog. And the movie really does exist.
Yes, there really is a movie.
Dr. Anderson.
Carter?
Turn off the camera, Abigail. Turn it off. Things being as they are, I think it would be best if you just handed the movie over to me now.
Is there an or?
At this point, does there have to be?
This would be a great time for that closing exposition.
It's really straightforward, almost boring. I got hired here to teach film. I met Tony Parsons. He bragged about having a lost silent movie of Chaney's. I wanted it. He disappeared. I searched for years. I have a group of rabid filmmakers that love the myth of it all. I plant a seed. I recruit Jacob here to keep an eye on things. I get a top hat out of the theater department, and I sit back and wait. How's that?
Tied up with a bow. Chase?
You left out the broken arm.
It was necessary for the whole ruse. Besides, it's not broken.
Hairline.
Abby.
You would go through all this for a couple canisters of film?
Do you need a lecture, Chase?
He doesn't. He knows what he has.
A man died down here, Carter.
I didn't kill the man.
You just callously beat up Jacob, though.
You need to go review your plot line, son. It's all about keeping your nose focused on the breadcrumbs. We can talk about this at a much later date, but for now, just hand the cans over, Chase.
Have you taught them about dramatic entrances yet, Carter? Because I think I just made one.
You've got to be kidding me.
Is that a gun?
It is. And not a prop one either. They thought you were one smart cookie. I lost that bet. Your uncle. Dead and gone.
Because you shot him.
Who is she? Oh, she's the paramour of this lovely little story. I did. Yes, and it was about the film. And no, he wouldn't give it to me. And yes, I shot him and hid his body away. And then I had a nice little meeting of the minds with Carter here. And then you lovely ladies and lads
enrolled. And suddenly we formulated a plan.
I hate how it all wraps up at the end.
Me too.
Hand over the film now, Chase.
No.
Did I not say I was serious? No? Go and get signal and call someone!
He shot my film professor.
Where?
Down in the sub-basement.
I'll have one of my men check it out.
How did you get here so fast?
We had the janitor on the lookout for you and your gang, Spanky.
Spanky. I like that. Good reference.
Yeah, I watch movies too. Now stay put. Hey, good man, you got him.
So almost poetic.
Sorry I dropped him, but the good news is there's nothing in him.
At least Dr. Anderson was talking when they took him away in the ambulance.
I think he got it in the hip.
That's small consolation.
Jacob, why are you even sitting here?
I should have listened to you when you told me his name meant deceiver.
Hey, I got duped into this thing long before you did.
And suddenly that makes it all right in your little part of the world?
Abigail, do you have any clue as to what we were really after?
Yeah, a long-lost silent movie.
If that's all you see, then I was wrong to make the first move.
Jacob, I'm out. The web series is all yours.
It always was.
It's funny. You wanted your buddy here to get out and feel the sunshine on his face, but you're the one really trapped in that little 35mm frame.
I took a bat to the arm. What did any of you put into this thing?
The worst thing of all, Jacob.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Trust.
Come on, Chase. Some things are worth more than ourselves. Or petty relationships.
No. Not this time. Not ever, Jacob. Deceiver. It fits you.
Another show about movies. Does the world need one more?
I'm out of Jacobs, for good.
At least his arm's healing.
Slowly.
And Dr. Anderson is recouping. Liam and Abigail are trying it again, and Todd Charles is booked for murder.
But what happened to the Cheney flick?
Do I have to keep talking at the camera?
You're right. The world doesn't need another show driveling on about the movies. We may never know, and that's probably for the best.
It's a great literary device when you ponder it. Dr. Jekyll's Elixir, Frankenstein's Papers on Rejuvenation, The 39 Steps.
The Lost Ark.
Huh?
A great movie device.
I may keep you around.
Good. I like being kept. You want to get a cheeseburger?
Nah.
Chinese? Thai?
Nope, not tonight.
Is it gonna break the bank?
Can you say Mediterranean?
Well, I can say it. I'm not sure if I want it.
My treat.
Then of course I want it.
Movies, books, whatever floats your boat. They don't mean a thing when it's all said and done. Not with someone else in the room.
You just happen to be in my room now.